Hello, welcome everyone to this great, exciting, interesting message today. So, what is the topic? The topic is idea. Here, we'll be talking about idea, we'll be talking about different things and a lot of things on us to gain, to learn, to teach on also in this great, exciting message brought to us about idea. So, yes, what is idea? Idea is not just a random word, no, but you learn in this video you are going to learn exacting new things and a lot of teaching about idea and how God also really helped in this great message. So yes, so stay tuned, relax, and very new subscriber, returning subscriber, yes, welcome again. And so yes, we haven't subscribed, why? So do so, subscribe, it's very important. Join this awesome channel, and yes, let's go together. Okay, so let's move to the topic idea. Okay, something about idea. And first, why do idea get abandoned? So those are the things you do need to understand. Why do idea get abandoned? And all this will really help you in getting a lot about idea, and it really help you also in achieving your idea. So something about idea. And first, why do idea got abandoned? Idea don't just die, or what really happened. Because is it because they are bad? But something do happen which resulted to that. So what is it? Okay. So all those questions and everything that answer to that question is going to be said. So yes, everything is going to be said in this video. The questions, everything. So you just stay tuned and relax as we go drive in more. Okay, so one, let's put some list down. So this will help us really along the line in this great topic idea. First, fear appear, which is number one. Two, comfort resist change. Three, discipline fade. Four, opposition rises. Five, results don't come quickly or at all. So yeah, we have things on the list already for us. So these five things, we're going to really talk about it and what are they and how did they really connect to our idea. But first, let's hear what the scripture say. So God word says something about idea. And if you look at it, this really link up to all these things being said in the list. Matthew 26:41 says something. He said, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Meaning what? How? So if the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak, so could this also be the result of all these things being listed? So what the Bible verse says really point to everything numbered a one, two, three, four. So yes, another scripture says something. We have Proverbs 20:18. It said, plan face for lack of counsel. So in quote, so what counsel? Who counsel? Hmm. And does the word plan work with the topic idea? Yes, we're talking about idea. So plan. As it gets to the stage, okay, just relax. You're gonna get everything. But from idea, we do arrive to plan. From idea, you do arrive to plan. Well, you are free to have idea, but plan is where you are trying to exercise the idea. So this is plan and this is idea. So idea, yeah, we one way or the other get to the table of plan. So plan is where you're trying to exercise this idea. So in this, in so going on, so going on this now, but plan is where you're trying to exercise it, right? And could be the issue. So we have another thing again for us to look at. But everything we are going to get the exact answer. Moving on from all these lists being listed. So we have another scripture. That is Proverb. We have another scripture to read. Proverb 19:21. He said, many are the plan in a person's heart, but it is the Lord purpose that prevail. Okay? That being said already, let's go back on some things. You could just go for Proverbs 20:18. That answer it all. Or maybe you could say, oh, cancel. That's all. Ah, but this same Bible speak in Matthew 36:41, which says about the spirit and the flesh being weak. You could not much really agree about the spirit. Does the spirit has anything to do with Aya? But this is where you're really going to get everything. Now we have another Bible in Proverbs 19:21, which don't even really goes with what Matthew or the other proverb is saying. Is even not talking about God being the Alpha. It's talking about God being the Omega. So he's even talking, not even talking, he's even not talking of God being the commander. So yes, this idea really is a really interesting topic. Doing the research and making this video, he has really, God has really taught me a lot about this and some things to put out that will really help you. Okay, what if it is fear that appear? What happened? So all this being listed. So what happened if it is fear? So all these things being listed 1 to 5. So these are questions and you really need answer. So the fear. So this is what you really need to do. So this stage is what you can question the fear. Question the fear, the reason of it. But idea is a beautiful something that everything needed is already spoken to you on that time you had the idea. Yes, that is true. This is how idea works. Idea is very beautiful that everything that pops up in your head already exists, or already that time you had the idea is already revealed to you how to get it. So that is how idea do work. Even the same way, Jesus, even God, when creating the world, even he has the idea of creating the world. If you do read the Bible, you see that God take on every existing, spoke on his idea, on his own will and his power. So the same way with you, on every idea you do. So at that time you add the idea. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are challenge. And to deal with this challenge, how do we do overcome the challenge? But we need to talk about something before we really move in there. Thought. So it is God who work in you to will and to act. So inspiration. So God plants the thought. For it is God who work in you thought. So we have the scripture that says in Philippians 2:13, for it is God who work in you to do the will and to act. So the desire comes from him. So this is how idea is being built. This is how inspiration works. From inspiration, it becomes an idea. So you can also call inspiration an idea. So anyone that suits well to you. So now moving on to preparation, there is a delay. This is where most people quit because after this idea or inspiration, this is where we move to the stage of prepare. And here comes resistance. Resistance do happen, especially when it comes to idea. And this resistance is when it shows up, oh, you don't have the finance means to move this thing or any kind of thing. So this resistance does bring any one thing or the other to do with to do stop that idea or inspiration fulfill. So that is one thing you need to know and understand about idea. So these things do really happen. So fourth, we have obedient. So there's one thing about idea is either you are obedient or not. So you need to move and you need to move in a way. So you need to move in a way that do what? That do align with the idea. And there's no other best way than Jesus. So that is why you do need to accept Jesus also. So moving on, we move into completion. So this is completion is when idea is being completed and is ready to move on to the next stage. So this is where you eat the fruits, and this is where everything has passed your idea, everything else past the next stage of productivity or plan or improvement or any other things. So your idea has graduated And if you do now move and work in it, so this is when your idea has graduated and you are now moving in it or working in it. So is one of the two that you are moving now in it or you are working in it. So working in it. So now we Proverbs 16:3 says something. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plan. This Bible gave us two things to do. Two things. No, two things. He said, commit, and what? God will establish the plan. It just means, and this, let me bring out an example. If you have a math question, a bit difficult, we throw it to the class for the lecturer to solve. Yes, say the lecturer eventually gave us a formula. It's just like what God is saying to us in Proverbs 16:3. We already would commit to the Lord, and the next thing is He established it. So the same way that happened, the example I talk about, He already established a formula to solve it. So that is one thing about following God, about trusting God. God is the real deal today about idea or anything. Just commit it to the Lord, whatever you do, and He will establish your plan. So it's going to establish it. So first, you need to commit that idea, commit the inspiration, commit whatever, and from there, it's not what establish the plan. Meaning, it's going to show you the plan. So when I read this Bible, I really understand something. That why did the Bible not just go straight to is going to establish your plan? Why did it start from saying commit your way to the Lord and whatever you do? From there, the Bible moved to it will establish your plan. Meaning, the first thing is taking everything to Him. We align with Him, everything fall in the proper position. So your plan become established and also your idea is restored. So this means the lack of counsel could be you not having God. But why don't you accept Him? So this is the time and perfect time if you haven't accepted Him, you to do so here. Give Him everything so He can establish it. Remember, is the way, the truth, and the life. So accepting Him is a great thing and waiting for His goodness. And this is when His goodness meets everything and meet everything needed. And also there won't be any lack of counsel. So, but there won't be any lack of counsel. So everything is met just by what? Accepting Him is the way, Alpha and Omega. Again, we don't have to say some things about idea. So, but we do not put our best. But this is also a process. So, but we do need to put our best also. It's very important for you and I to put in our best in this great idea, inspiration given to us. And doing this exercise is when our idea becomes a plan. So this process of developing idea, which is plan, well, idea is something that every person do have in various form. So your idea could be dangerous, could be bad, could be in every form. Every idea is. Now we will talk of every action or things be happen in the world on the news go through a process of idea and before plan. But let's move on. But the process is something a person do work on, either by God idea or other means. So doing my research and some things I do get is that if we talk on number one, being listed, fear. What is the reason of fear? These are the things you do need to question when all these things being listed talk earlier. You need to question them. You need to reason on it. First, doing this research before this really talk to me that when this fear appear, do you just accept it? Fine, you accept it. But this is the time for you to question it back, to reason with it. And what is the best way to overcome all these things being listed? All these things being listed, there's something you need to get about all these things being listed. They are challenge. And the only way to do overcome challenge is through Jesus Christ, through the help of Him. and also by getting closer to Him and praying and walking in His way. There's another thing again you do need to know about all this stage being listed. First, question them, pray about them, reason about them. So when you do all these things, you really know the truth. Oh, this fear that appear isn't right. Oh, yeah, God already spoke to me on how to move about this fear. So idea is very beautiful that everything needed that is already spoken to you. On that time, you add the idea. That's the truth. That very moment, that very time you add the idea. So whatever you do, and it's committed to the Lord. So this is when you align with Him, your plan becomes established. So need to accept Him. So you need to accept Him because in His way should another life. So you just need to accept Him because He's the way, truth, and life. So accept Him because He is the way. So there is no other way than Him. So wait for His goodness, and yeah, also is met through accepting Him. But we do need to put our best also. The process of developing an idea, well, idea is something every person do have in various form. So in whatever form your idea is something everyone do have. Either good, either it align in a positive way or it doesn't align in a positive. In every form, whatever it is something everyone have. So this is when we do have to sort it out. So, but the process of story that really align with this idea we are talking about. We have Nehemiah. He had an idea to rebuild Jerusalem wall. What happened? We could learn from all this. So first, he prayed. First, Nehemiah 1. 2, he planned carefully till he faced opposition. Nehemiah 4. So in all Nehemiah 1 to 4, you really get and understand more. Read more on this in the Bible. So, one, he prayed first. Two, he planned carefully. Three, he faced opposition. Four, people mocked him. Five, enemy tried to stop him. But he said, I am doing a great work and I cannot come down. That is Nehemiah 6:3. That is focus. That is a great focus, and not even only focus. We learn some things. And this bit of summary that I dropped down. In one, we see the first thing he do is prayed. Two, he planned. As I said earlier, plan is where you are trying to exercise the idea. Three, he faced opposition. We should just talk about opposition could be anything. Four, people mocked him. And five, enemy tried to stop him. And Nehemiah 60 confirmed, he said, I am doing a great work and I cannot come down. That is a focus. He finished the wall in 52 days. That is so great. So a lot of things you can gain from Nehemiah, from his idea to exactly living the idea, living the plan, seeing it all, and him finishing. So the idea succeed. It was prayed over, it was structured, it was protected from distraction. So these are the things why the best way to move idea is through God. So we could see some things that happened. It was prayed over first. Second, it was structured, very structured by the help of God. Three, it was protected from distraction. So it was finished despite resistance. Well, remember something. Finishing the idea is good, and with the help of Jesus. The scripture says something in Ecclesiastes 7:8. It said, the end of a matter is better than its beginning. So, this is good value of that. So, finally, how to successfully finish an idea. One, on what we learn, pray before announcing it. Write the plan down, write the vision, make it happen. Write the vision, make it plan. We have Abaku 2:2. Read more on that. First, opposition. 4. Stay connected. If you do listen to the last series we did, so, and you can do so, watch the series I talk about connection, which is the last episode I did. The title of this is the fourth stage of personal transformation. This really talk about connection, which I just mentioned. Stay connected. So this series really talk of connection, and it will be really good if you do watch it and get more on how to stay connected and how this will help your idea. So God is the creator of the universe. God is awesome. God do not just give idea. He develop people through the process of building them. Okay, they delay the resistance or contribute to the process and also prepare. So God gave you the idea, He will give you strength to complete it. He call you saying, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." So He is able, okay, do so now. Follow Him. Christ is waiting for you. Okay, so do so now. Okay, this is the end. We have come to this end of this great video idea. So do so to follow, like, subscribe, stay tuned for more video like this. So yes, and do remember to share it to loved ones. Bye.